Jack Douglas True Television series in association with Bing, combining the different worlds of travel and adventure. The Fabulous 50, Sundown, Adventure, and presenting tonight At Home Abroad, colorful true travels to the four corners of the earth.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jack Douglas, and this is Hugh O'Brian, whose handsome features are well known to every screen and TV fan throughout the world. Now, like most screen stars, Hugh O'Brian prefers to make movies in the birthplace of motion pictures, Hollywood, California. But recently, he starred in an MGM production which required some filming abroad, in Vienna and London. Well, with Hugh O'Brian's permission, we tagged along to document the story of An Actor Abroad.
This is the countryside surrounding fabulous Vienna, and of course the river there on the left is the legendary blue Danube. Vienna reminds me of the bride's traditional wish of something old, something new, something borrowed, and no, not something blue, but romantically beautiful. The word Flughafen means airport. Wien Airport is where we did some of the shooting for our film, Come Fly With Me, in which I portray an airline pilot with a girl in every port. Instead of the old horse, I fly a big jet 707 around beautiful Europe. Come Fly With Me is a bright, happy, romantic comedy which I think the whole family will enjoy. We sure had a lot of fun making it. Filming inside the terminal was painfully slow, and we did most of our scenes in the early evening when the terminal wasn't too crowded. You know, a famous actor once said, movie making requires only three things: talent, strong legs, and patience. Mostly patience. I think he was right. We spend 90% of our time waiting or in makeup or studying lines, as I'm doing here with Pamela Tiffin. After work, I'd climb out of that old jet and take a nice, slow ride back to the hotel. In Vienna, I stayed at the Bristol. Thank you very much. I appreciate the ride. The Bristol features women barbers. Well, I wonder what old Wyatt Earp would have said about this. I'll admit I was a little self-conscious, but so was she. Vienna is a paradise for window shoppers. Here on Kantenstrasse 26, which is full of chic shops of all varieties, I came to a window full of magnificent crystal and glassware. This is the shop of J&L Lobmeyer, one of the world's most famous manufacturers of crystal. And here are just a few samples. And the objects in this window I know will be easily identifiable to all of you who know porcelain. Porcelain known in our country as Royal Vienna Augarten. I wasn't shooting the next day, so I made arrangements to visit the factory. The factory was formerly the castle of Maria Teresa, and at one time the manufacture of porcelain was owned by her. Inside the factory, we photographed these scenes of some of the highly skilled workers carving in clay and plastic. These workers, by the way, are paid about $30 per week, and all the work is done by hand. After the objects are fired, the work is painted, and this is the result. I also went back to the crystal shop and watched the process of glass engraving. After the artist has painted the design on the glass, the engraver takes over. The finished product may very well look like this. On weekends, all of Vienna, and I mean especially the Viennese, go sightseeing. By now, I'm sure I have more pictures of statues and statuary than anybody in Hollywood. These are scenes of the magnificent Schönbrunn Palace, said to be the only royal residence in Europe that still contains its original furnishings, including a magnificent collection of carriages. And speaking of carriages, the drivers always seem to be facing the wrong direction. Now watch Hugh O'Brian, the Goodwill Ambassador. But nothing. I'm not laughing at her, but at the people who were laughing at me. Well, you can't win them all. Sundays in Vienna are especially pleasant. A chance to dress up and enjoy that first cup of coffee at a delightful outdoor cafe. Feeding the pigeons in the Ringstrasse, directly across the street from my hotel, became a daily ritual. Here I'm assisted by one of Austria's finest young actresses, Maria Perschy. Maria speaks English very fluently, and since I don't speak German, I was delighted to have her show me around. She took me to the Dorotheum, the largest auction house in the city.
Beautiful palace. Yes, it's done by Constantine Stolzner. It's from this century, not too old.
An Austrian artist?
Yes, it's an Austrian artist.
I didn't really want a painting, but I insisted that she put in a bid for me just for the fun of it.
Credit.
1500.
What's that?
Yes, sir, brother, it's all yours. See the cashier, please.
All right, come on, we'll go get it.
Hello. I'm the one that bought the picture. The painter. What do I got to pay him?
1,500.
1,000. Well, here. That's covered. Thank you very much. It's beautiful. You know what I'm going to do with it? I'm going to give it to my brother, Don, up in Oakland, California. It looked very, very nice in their dining room. It's a very beautiful still life, huh? Thank you very much. Let's buy a newspaper, huh?
You want a newspaper?
How do you say how much in German?
Wie viel bitte?
Huh?
Wie viel bitte?
Danke. Wie viel,
Einen
bitte?
Schilling.
Eine Schilling?
Einen Schilling.
Danke.
That's right.
Danke.
Entschuldigen Sie bitte, haben Sie diese Cowboy-Zeitung vom Fernsehen, ja? Ja. Weiter? Ja, habe ich. Kann es Ihnen nur sehr empfehlen.
How much?
Wie viel kostet 4 Schillinge.
4
Schilling.
4 shillings via the...
Danke.
Danke. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Wiedersehen.
The Giant Ferris Wheel is as much a part of Vienna as Coney Island is a part of Brooklyn. The Giant Wheel is part of a fun fair located at the Prater, a sort of an island formed by the Danube Canal and the river itself. I'm pretty sure that this is the largest Ferris wheel in the world. Also, I seem to recall that some very suspenseful moments from the movie The Third Man were photographed aboard the wheel. Of course, the view from this height is just tremendous. This cottage has become a mecca for music lovers and wine lovers from all parts of the world. It's known as the Beethoven House, and Maria told me some of its history.
He actually lived here then?
Yes, he lived here for one summertime in 1718. Just for one summertime. Up the stairs there.
Up those little stairs?
Yes, those little stairs. It's in the last room.
Did he compose any work while he was at this particular...
He made here the symphony called the Unfinished One. This was done here.
The Unfinished Symphony?
Yes.
Later, we were joined by some of my friends. Mrs. Henry Levin, our director's wife, Jimmy Dobson, who plays the flight engineer in our picture. And on the right, I'm sure you'll recognize my old pal from Wyatt Earp days, Doc Holliday, better known as Douglas Fowley, a good friend and a wonderful actor. No tour of Vienna could possibly be complete without a visit to the Vienna State Opera. The Opera House is the symbolic heart of the Viennese and the most important entertainment center in all of Austria. The resident architect, Dr. Karl Waska, said that the Opera House was destroyed by bombs during World War II and was completely rebuilt. It's now the most modern in the world, and its corridors are decorated with magnificent tapestries, as, for example, the magic flute.
Over here, Mr. O'Brian, you have the magic flute.
This tremendous handiwork there, you have 14 tremendous tapestries like this in the Opera House.
That's right. In this hall we have 14 gobelins, or what you call tapestries.
And this is called the tapestry room, obviously.
It's called the tapestry
It's very
room,
beautiful, and it's almost as big as one of our football fields.
Yes, you may call it like this.
The soccer field.
Backstage, Dr. Waska showed me programs of the past season and told me that the Opera House maintains a wardrobe of 20,000 operatic costumes, all of them acquired since World War II. A staff of 106 employees is required to care for the costumes alone. Yes, this is part of a costume, too. The enormous robe worn by Brigitte Nielsen, singing the title role of the opera Turandot. The prop shop made me very nostalgic. This was just like Hollywood. Now watch this. A magnificent crystal chandelier. 10,200 bulbs lighting 13 tons of crystal. My tour of the Opera House ended in the Royal Parlor, and here also the key word was elegance. Elegance and a remembrance of the musical greats. You know, folks, like all performers, I've had the pleasure of signing my share of autographs, but when I was invited to sign the guest book of the Vienna Opera, it made me feel very humble. It contains signatures of all the great European heads of state over the past few centuries, as well as famous opera stars. And it was quite a thrill for Hugh O'Brian, home address, Hollywood, California, temporarily, an actor. There's an awful lot to see in London, and as far as I'm concerned, this is the best way to see the city's famous landmarks. Actually, cycling has always been one of my favorite forms of exercise. Back home, I own a racing bike, and I once pedaled from Los Angeles to San Francisco, a distance of about 400 miles. This sightseeing tour seemed almost as long. Past the Tower of London, over the Tower Bridge. You're right, it's a long bridge. Trafalgar Square and the monument to Lord Nelson. Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament. And again, crossing the Thames on Lambeth Bridge. Graham Terrace in the Belgrave sector of London is where I made my home during the entire filming of Come Fly With Me. I rented this furnished 3-story house, and I had a wonderful Yorkshire housekeeper named Constance Clark. And boy, she fussed over me like the den mother of a Cub Scout troop.
Oh, thank you, Constance.
Do you think that's enough for you?
Oh, that'll be fine, thank you.
No wonder you're so thin. You won't eat like a bird.
Well, that's what I am, just a bird. Hey, today's your day off, isn't it?
It is.
Where are you going?
Richmond, Surrey.
What's in Richmond, Surrey?
All sorts of things.
You got a boyfriend there, haven't you?
No.
Huh? No, I bet you have. Well, you be a good girl.
I will.
Okay.
And you don't set the house on fire.
Oh, I promise I won't set the house on fire.
She's really quite a delightful gal. Completely confident that I hadn't set the house on fire, I locked up and went out to do some sightseeing on foot. Constance had told me to be sure to browse around the Fulham Street Market. The atmosphere and the crowds reminded me somewhat of our famous farmers' market in Hollywood. Here's something I haven't seen in years. Price tags that also put in a sales plug for the product. But for my money, the big attraction at Fulham Street Market is the banana auctioneer, Mr. Terry Tucker. He's quite a pitchman. Listen.
Today, it's the old mother-in-law's birthday today. Everybody's got to get a treat. Here, look. Half a crown, here, 2 bob again. Who wants it? 2 bob. Lady over there. Hold up, hold up. Here, 2 shillings. Here, another big one. Look at that here. There must be 5 banana fruit.
He seemed to have quite a sense of humor, so I figured we'd have a little fun.
Take American money? No, can't take American money, no. No, I don't want American money, no. Here. Half a crown, 2 and 6pence.
Give me £2.
Two for eat here or take away. He wants £2 here.
No, I'm gonna eat them here.
He's gonna eat them here.
All right.
Yeah, all right, here. Jolly good luck. Give him 18 shillings change. Here, come here. 2. 18 shillings. There, jolly good luck to you. Here you go. Thank you very much.
Do I get a bag?
Yeah, give him a bag. Give him a, keep him quiet. Give him a bag. Here. Who wants another big one? Here, go on. About £6 there. Here, never mind, 6 bob.
I didn't really want the bananas, so I went right back and offered to give them away free. You know, for once in his life, I think young Terry was thrown. I'm sure he had me pegged as some kind of a nut.
Here, I wants to give them away now. Here, come on, here. Who wants that one? Here, 2 bob, here, 1 and 6. Here, lady out there, 1 and 6. Here, come here, you greedy lot. Here, you greedy lot. Here's another one there. Who wants that one? Here,
Terry's voice carries for blocks, and people come from all parts of London to see him in action. And here are a few shots of MGM Studios in London, where we did all the interior filming for our movie. London, like many of our own big and crowded cities, has set aside dozens of play streets for the youngsters. All vehicles are prohibited unless calling on the premises.
What's your name?
John.
John.
Yeah.
And what's yours?
Terry.
Terry? Is that your wife? What's your name? Ah, Barbara. And this is a cricket bat, huh?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, it weighs just about the same size as our old Babe Ruth bat does back home. What kind of a ball you using on the street?
Tennis ball.
Tennis ball? Oh. And you're the pitcher, Red?
Yeah.
Yeah? Now, what's the idea? You bat, just like we do at home, and actually you hold the bat, and you try to swing it from down below. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then you, when you hit the ball, and you try to run to a base and run back before they tag you out. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay. Who's going to bat first?
You.
I am.
Yeah.
All right. Who's going to pitch to me? Red?
Red.
All right, Red. You do the pitching, all right? The old bunt line special, knock you all down. Here we go. All right?
Well, as you can see, they took pity on me, and I didn't have to do any running. Cricket is an easy game with a tennis ball, but believe me, the real thing is quite difficult and very exacting. Well, at a nearby riding stable, I met London's fashionable horsey set. And here they are.
Is that your pony? Huh? It is. What's his name?
Silver.
Silver? Hi, old Silver. Lone Ranger's got a pony just like him. Hi.
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 What is the name of the pony you ride in the film?
The what?
The pony you ride in
The pony that I ride in Wilder? Name is Candy. Nice looking pony though, isn't it?
In the films, do they make it go fast with the camera, or?
You mean when we ride? Does it?
Yes.
No. No, we really ride fast like that. Sometimes when we shoot all those bullets off, they get very, very excited, and they go much faster than we want them to, though.
Do you really hit them hard in the films?
You mean when we do the fighting?
Yes.
No, we come very, very close. See? I like that, you see. They go right by the face.
But what
and it
makes
looks
that
like
noise?
you hit them. What makes the noise?
Yes.
Well, there's somebody there who takes a big, big stick and goes like that, and it sounds like you're hitting them. Sounds like we kill them sometimes, doesn't it?
Yes.
You know, folks, the recognition of these youngsters in a land other than my own was certainly my biggest thrill during my stay in England. In a way, it's a humbling experience, yet a very proud one. No, we're not play acting Wyatt Earp in London. It's perfectly proper to ride on the main streets. In fact, the Horse Guards do it all the time. This is Wilton Mews, where I had a luncheon appointment with an old friend, Lisa Finlayson.
Hi there, how are you?
This pub is still another famous landmark. Today, it's a favorite haunt of London's actors and actresses, but a long, long, long time ago, it was the Duke of Wellington's #1 dining spot.
What would you like to drink, sir?
Oh, I'll have a draft of beer, thank you. Oh, this is a wonderful old pub. I'm glad you suggested coming here for lunch. How old is it?
Well, Hugh, it dates back to 1818.
1818? Is most of this the original equipment?
Yes, it is. And since 1818, these pumps have pulled more than 25 million pints of beer.
25 million pints of beer?
That's right.
Wow.
And this used to be the Duke of Wellington's mess.
Uh-huh. Well, I can understand that. Well, folks, these are just a few of the highlights of the people I met, the places I visited, and the things that interested me in Vienna and in London when I wasn't working in front of the cameras, filming our picture, Come Fly With Me. Actually, it's a very typical story, the story of an actor abroad.
Okay, is that all to do?
That's about all you can do with it, huh? Thanks, Tom. I'll see you on the set. Hi. We finish making this picture in about 3 weeks, and then I'll be flying home. I want to thank you very much, all of you, for being with us this past half hour, and I hope you'll join us once again when this picture we've been making for MGM here in Europe comes to your local theater. I think you'll enjoy seeing Dolores Hart, Pamela Tiffin, Carl Malden, Carl Bone, and Lois Nettleton as much as I enjoyed working with them. Until I see you again, many thanks and good night.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we've seen what an actor does in his spare time when he's required to make a movie abroad, and oh, for the life of an actor, provided that you're tall, handsome, likable, and a star like Hugh O'Brian, who is recognized everywhere. Our thanks to Hugh O'Brian, and as always, my thanks to you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.